Dear finance professionals and students, welcome to podcast of FCA Deepak Rao, a practicing chartered accountant. Weekly digest for week 2 of June 2025. Mizuho Financial Group is set to acquire KKR-backed Avendus Capital for $700 million, marking Mizuho's largest investment in India. The deal involves KKR's exit and will give Mizuho up to 70% ownership. Avendus founders, excluding Ranu Vohra, will remain invested and manage the company, continuing its operations across financial services in India, the US, and Singapore. The government is considering banks' request to amend the income tax law, aligning NPA definitions with RBI norms to exempt interest earned on NPAs. Banks also seek increased deduction for NPA provisions, potentially boosting their bottom lines. This move addresses discrepancies causing unjust tax liabilities on unrealized income, as current regulations tax notional interest on NPAs despite RBI non-recognition. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs has notified the company's Accounts Amendment Rules 2025, introducing significant changes to compliance reporting and statutory disclosures under the Companies Act 2013. These amendments shall come into effect from 14 July 2025. As part of the Digital Compliance Initiative, Form AOC 1, relating to the statement of salient features of financial statements of subsidiaries, and Form AOC 2, relating to particulars of contracts or arrangements with related parties, are now required to be filed in electronic form. This move aims to streamline submissions and enhance transparency through digitized records. The Goods and Services Tax Network will implement a key provision from the Finance Act 2023, which restricts the filing of GST returns beyond 3 years from their respective due dates. This change will come into effect starting with the July 2025 tax period, marking a major shift in how past compliance can be regularized. The said restriction will be implemented on the GST portal from July 2025 tax period. Hence, the taxpayers are once again advised to reconcile their records and file their GST returns as soon as possible, if not filed till now. Reliance Infrastructure is set to turbocharge its defense vertical over the next few years with a focus on aircraft upgrade programs. The Anil Ambani-led organization recently became first private sector company to independently execute a comprehensive aircraft upgrade program without being the original manufacturer, a domain traditionally dominated by public sector units and OEMs. The company is now eyeing an opportunity of Rs 5,000 crore over the next 7 to 10 years. A Michael Page report reveals high job mobility in India, with 62% of professionals negotiating raises and 37% succeeding. Professionals prioritize purpose, ethics, and flexibility, driving proactive career management. While Gen AI adoption is high, only 31% feel prepared, highlighting the need for structured training and clear communication from employers to retain talent. The Reserve Bank of India's interest rate cut is poised to significantly benefit non-banking finance companies by expanding their margins due to reduced funding costs. Easing of norms on unsecured loans and lower risk weights will facilitate increased bank lending to NBFCs, boosting their lending activities. Investors have responded positively, driving up NBFC stock prices. The Reserve Bank of India has amended the qualifying asset requirement under paragraph 8.1 of the Master Directions for NBFC microfinance institutions. This revision is aimed at reinforcing the core operational focus of such institutions on microfinance activities. Under the revised norms, NBFC MFIs are now required to ensure that at least 60% of their total assets, excluding intangible assets, constitute qualifying assets on an ongoing basis. This change ensures that a substantial portion of the institution's portfolio remains aligned with microfinance objectives. The Securities and Exchange Board of India has notified an extension to the additional liquidation period granted to venture capital funds migrating to the regulatory framework under the SEBI Alternative Investment Funds Regulations 2012. As per the latest notification, the deadline for availing the additional liquidation period has been extended from July 19, 2025 to July 19, 2026. This one-year extension provides additional time for venture capital funds to complete their transition to the alternative investment fund regime in a structured and compliant manner. Zee Entertainment acquires stake in startup Bullet to launch a microdrama app offering short, creator-driven content. The app, integrated with ZEE5, targets mobile-first users with high-quality, bite-sized entertainment across languages to boost digital reach and monetization. Fintech major Cred has raised Rs 617 crore or $72 million in a fresh funding round at a valuation of $3.5 billion. This was done at a lower valuation compared to $6.4 billion at which the startup was valued in 2022 during its last major fund infusion. Cred's round comes close on the heels of another fintech, Grow, closing a major pre-IPO funding round which was also led by GIC. The company is in the final stages of closing $200 million fund infusion, which would value the wealth management platform at around $6.5 billion. Jio BlackRock Asset Management has appointed its leadership team and launched its website, along with an early access initiative inviting users to explore its digital-first investment platform. The fund house aims to offer innovative, data-driven products at competitive prices. Backed by Jio Financial Services' local reach and BlackRock's global expertise, it plans to make investing more accessible and affordable in India. Indian businessmen traveling abroad on tourist visas may face scrutiny from tax authorities. The Income Tax Department taxed Hotbread's founder M. Mahadevan's global income, deeming him a resident despite his NRI claim. The tax office rejected his argument about business-related travels due to his tourist visas. The tribunal upheld the decision, emphasizing the importance of appropriate visa categories. The World Bank has revised India's financial year 26 growth forecast downward to 6.3%, citing weaker exports and rising global trade barriers, although India remains a fast-growing economy. Despite this, the RBI maintains a 6.5% growth projection for financial year 26. Globally, growth is expected to slow, impacting the South Asian region. The MCA has substituted the existing Form AOC 4 XBRL with a new and updated version. This revised form is aimed at improving the transparency, compliance, and consistency of financial reporting by companies using the XBRL format. One of the key updates in the revised Form AOC 4 XBRL is the mandatory disclosure on corporate social responsibility reporting. Companies will now be required to furnish details regarding their CSR activities in a structured manner, aligning with the reporting obligations under Section 135 of the Companies Act 2013. To enhance the authenticity and accuracy of financial submissions, the amendment rules now require companies to attach a copy of their signed financial statements, duly authenticated and submitted in PDF format, along with the e-form AOC 4 XBRL. This provision ensures that the data filled digitally is verifiable and corresponds to the physical records. The above changes will come into effect from July 14th, 2025. Chinese EV makers, led by BYD, are challenging Tesla in self-driving technology by offering affordable EVs with advanced driver assistance systems. BYD's God's Eye undercuts Tesla's FSD, leveraging lower component costs and government support. Tesla faces challenges in China due to regulations, competition, and a strategic shift towards robot access, while Chinese firms gain advantages through scale and data collection. India's booming quick commerce is driving unprecedented demand for small, hyperlocal warehouses, converting underutilized urban spaces into micro-fulfillment hubs. This surge is transforming urban logistics, impacting rental dynamics, and expanding into Tier 2 cities. Companies are prioritizing speed and location, leading to innovative real estate repurposing and significant growth in the sector. Meesho has completed the crucial step of converting from a private limited to a public limited company in the run-up to its IPO. The online marketplace has also applied to the National Company Law Tribunal for flipping back its domicile from the US to India ahead of its listing. Anil Ambani's Reliance Infrastructure and Reliance Power are experiencing a significant resurgence with stock prices soaring. Reliance Infrastructure benefited from a legal reprieve and strategic defense contract, while Reliance Power is boosted by major solar projects and a return to profitability. These developments spark hopes for a potential comeback after years of financial struggles. The Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, or CBIC, has issued a circular to eliminate ambiguity regarding the requirement of quoting the Document Identification Number, or DIN, in GST communications. CBIC has clarified that DIN is not mandatory for communications generated through the GST Common Portal. This includes all forms of notices, orders, and letters issued via the system interface of the portal. CBIC has emphasized that taxpayers and officers should rely exclusively on the RFN for verifying the legitimacy of any communication issued via the portal. A dedicated utility for this verification is available on the GST portal. The Central Board of Direct Taxes, or CBDT, has extended the deadline prescribed in the second proviso to Section 143(1) of the Income Tax Act 1961. This extension relates to the processing of valid income tax returns filed electronically for assessment year 23-24 under Section 139. As per the CBDT directive, returns for which the intimation dispatch date has already expired will now be processed, and the intimation under Section 143(1) will be sent to the respective taxpayers on or before 30th November 2025. In a strategic move to secure rare earth magnets, a critical component for the electric vehicle and electronics industries, the government is exploring ways to boost domestic manufacturing of these vital raw materials amid China's export restrictions. Officials are evaluating how India Rare Earths Limited, a Government of India PSU, can be leveraged for rare earth magnet production. The government is also considering private sector collaborations with India Rare Earths Limited to build domestic capacity. Electronics manufacturing services company Zetwork Electronics officially started work on setting up its manufacturing facility in Devanelli, Bengaluru. The facility will help Zetwork expand its capabilities to serve areas such as high-growth electronic system design and manufacturing for sectors like industrials, telecom, auto, consumer durables, and strategic electronics. Jubilant Bhartiya Group's promoters are selling minority stakes in listed companies to raise Rs 2,000 crore for partially funding the acquisition of a 40% stake in Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages. Goldman Sachs Asset Management has already raised $600 million for the deal, and the group is divesting non-core assets. The deal values Coca-Cola's bottling arm at Rs 31,250 crore. The Finance Ministry is nudging large central public sector enterprises and key government agencies to boost their capital expenditure in this financial year. The move comes on top of similar instructions to various ministries and departments earlier this fiscal to front-load their capex, aimed at supporting economic growth. Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries sold a 3.64% stake in Asian Paints. The sale occurred through its affiliate Siddhant Commercials Private Limited. SBI Mutual Fund acquired these shares for Rs 7,703 crore via an open market transaction. Following the deal, SBI Mutual Fund's stake in Asian Paints increased significantly. The Air India crash in Ahmedabad is expected to result in India's costliest aviation insurance claim, with estimates exceeding $120 million. The aircraft's hull loss alone is pegged at around $80 million, while passenger liability may range from $30 to $100 million due to high net worth passengers. Tata AIG is the lead insurer, with others like New India Assurance holding minor stakes. Most of the risk is covered by global reinsurers. The crash is likely to push up global aviation insurance rates, especially in India. Reserve Bank of India has allowed trading of state government securities in separate trading of registered interest and principal of securities, or STRIPS, a format that allows bond traders to strip principal and coupon payments and sell them separately. In a notification on Thursday, the RBI said decision is based on consultation with the individual state governments and union territories and market feedback. Jio BlackRock Mutual Fund has filed draft papers with SEBI to launch two debt schemes, a liquid fund and a money market fund. The Jio BlackRock Liquid Fund aims to offer regular income through investments in money market and debt instruments with maturities up to 91 days. It is designed for short-term investors seeking low-risk, income-generating opportunities. Flexiloans.com, MSME-focused digital lending NBFC, announces a successful raise of Rs 374 crore in its Series C funding round. This follows a Rs 290 crore infusion in September 2024, taking the total funds raised to Rs 665 crores over the last 6 months. The fresh capital will be used to expand operations, enhance product offerings, and strengthen technology infrastructure. Maruti Suzuki India and Equitas Small Finance Bank are joining forces. They will provide vehicle financing options to customers. The partnership aims to make Maruti Suzuki vehicles more accessible. Equitas Small Finance Bank will use its customer base to offer financing solutions. This collaboration is expected to enhance customer satisfaction. It will also drive growth for both companies. In a move aimed at enhancing transparency and investor protection, the SEBI has announced the implementation of a Structured Unified Payment Interface, or UPI mechanism. This system is designed specifically for SEBI-registered intermediaries to collect funds from investors in a secure and verified manner. Under this mechanism, investors will be able to transfer funds directly to the designated bank accounts of SEBI-registered intermediaries. By ensuring that the payments go to verified recipients, the new system helps eliminate the risk of fraud and misdirection of funds in the securities market. Domestic chartered accountant firms are seeking relaxation of existing norms even as the government works toward Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of creating India's own Big Four advisory firms. The firms have raised concerns over current regulations under the Chartered Accountants Act 1949 and the Code of Ethics, which they say are hindering their ability to scale. Key obstacles cited include capital constraints, a ban on advertising, and limited government support. The RP Sanjeev Goenka Group has acquired India Lifestyle Network, the parent company of Men's XP, for approximately $9 million, marking a steep 85% discount from its last known valuation of $60 million. The acquisition was made from e-commerce firm brnd.me, which had acquired ILN from Times Internet in 2022. Reliance Infrastructure is betting big on India's defense aviation future, eyeing a Rs 5,000 crore opportunity in military aircraft upgrade programs, making it the first Indian private firm to independently execute such projects without being an original equipment manufacturer. In a strategic move that signals the growing clout of private players in defense, Reliance Infrastructure has sharpened its focus on the high-value segment of aircraft upgrades. The company has already completed the upgrade of 55 Dornier 228 aircrafts in partnership with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and US-based Genesis under a Rs 350 crore contract. In a significant legal development, the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal has dismissed the appeal by Byju's, the prominent edtech firm, seeking permission for an equity fund raised by its subsidiary Aakash Educational Services. This decision upholds an earlier order by the National Company Law Tribunal to maintain the current shareholding structure of Aakash, effectively putting a hold on new equity transactions by the subsidiary. The appeal was crucial for Byju's and Aakash, as they argued that the equity infusion was essential for their continued growth and survival. This podcast is sponsored by